our defense needs to get better. We need to lock in. We need to communicate. We need to be able to speak to each other as we're moving, as we're rotating, as we're switching, so we're not leaving any player, any shooter open, making the Pacers' jobs easier and our jobs harder. And the way to do that is just to lock in and be a better defensive team. And don't tell me the Knicks can't do that. Game 6 against the Celtics proved to everybody that the Knicks can do it. Now, we're just waiting to see it again consistently for 48 minutes. And I know it can happen. However, Mikal Bridges also might have a reason why the Knicks defense doesn't look as good as it should. And he also has a reason on why the Knicks starters may be a net negative 68 as a starting unit playing together in the postseason. And according to Bridges, it's because the Knicks are a little too soft. Their defense is a little too soft. Let's break down exactly what Mikal Bridges had to say about the Knicks and their defense. Shout out to Knicks videos on the app X for giving us this following information here. According to them, Mikal Bridges was asked why he thinks the Knicks starters are being outscored throughout the playoffs. And according to Mikal,
I apologize if you've already been asked this, but I believe the starting group has been a minus 81 this postseason. Just from your vantage point, what's been the biggest issue with starting halves, starting games with the first five?
I'm not sure, man. I don't know if we're just. I think it's maybe a defensive thing. I got to see. Sometimes you're just you're in it. You got to go back and watch the game. But I don't know, man. I think you just got to talk to each other off the jump, be physical off the jump. I think maybe we're just playing a little too soft in the beginning of the halves. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And sometimes, as he said, it's because when they start off, they're a little too soft. And that could mean start off the game or start off after halftime. Either way, there could be a drop-off on the defensive end. And when we see that, obviously, you're going to say something about that, and you're going to want to make corrections, whether you're the head coach or you're a teammate and you're watching that and you're not seeing the right things done. You're not seeing the right rotations made. And Mikal Bridges has always spoken up about the Knicks and their defensive issues. You want to know what another defensive issue he spoke about was a couple of days ago? It was about the Knicks not communicating. Their communication skills being very, very poor. So when they're out there, they're too quiet, meaning that when they're rotating or switching on players or they're doing drop coverage, which likely means they have to communicate so other players know they may have to run up to that player because he might have an open shot if he is a shooter. Those conversations, they're not happening. What's happening is everybody's looking at everybody else and trying to read what is going on. And that is very difficult to do when you are not in communication. You need to be able to talk because when you're out there, you can't see everything. You're likely going to look at your defender or the player that you're guarding or whoever you're on or other things on the court or whatever your assignment is. So working as a team, communicating, that's important because if you don't do that as a team, if you don't communicate, you're only hurting yourself. You're only destroying yourself in the process if you're not going to do that defensively as a team. Communication is probably one of the biggest things as a team you need to do in order to be together defensively, or else you're not going to know what to do, where to be, or where to go. And the Knicks are not always bad on this end. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. But just like their play, it is not consistent on that end. You'll see it for 24 minutes and then it's gone for the next 24 minutes. Or you'll see it for 36 minutes and then it's gone. Or you'll see it for 46 minutes and then it disappears in the final two. And those things hurt New York. You need to be able to play better defense, especially if you have a defensive-minded head coach like Tom Thibodeau as your head coach. I don't blame Mikal Bridges for saying this. I never blame him for calling out the Knicks, calling out the defense, and saying what it is. They're soft at times. At times, they are not wanting to do what they need to do defensively to make those stops. They're not putting their body on the line. They're not trying to get in front of these players. They're allowing them to run around, attack the rim, backdoor cuts for days, not communicating, not jumping out to the back door, sometimes standing and watching them shoot open shots or open threes. Some of that is being late. Some of that is not communicating. But some of that, to Mikal Bridges' point, is because they're soft. And you have to be better defensively. You have to shake that label. You cannot be labeled a soft team on defense in the postseason, because then everybody is going to attack you because you're soft. We need changes. We need to make better changes on defense. We need to start games stronger, and after halftime, we need to keep up that same level of intensity. That, for me, is the missing part. We're starting games just fine. We're not closing games like we used to close games in the postseason. We're not doing the things like we normally do to close out like we should be doing. And I'm not sure why the Knicks are not even trying to do those things or attempting to do those things. It's like they've lost their way in a way. I hope that Tom Thibodeau is listening very carefully to what Mikal Bridges stated here, because for me, it's important. It's up to the coaching staff to make this Knicks team better on defense, make them tougher and stronger. And once they learn it, it's up to the team to implement it and to become that stronger defensive team, not be as soft. Imagine your team being labeled that and Mikal potentially being the one doing it. Let me quote that again for everybody in the back of the room who didn't hear that. Mikal Bridges again on why he thinks the Knicks starters are being outscored throughout the playoffs. I'm not sure, man. Maybe it's a defensive thing. Maybe we are just playing too soft at the beginning. He didn't mix any words, did he? Maybe we're just playing too soft. Who's we? The team. Who's the team? The Knicks. Ergo, the Knicks are too soft on defense. Need to be better. You must. You got to be better on defense. That's the way you win this series. Ball movement, defense, and making sure everybody is touching the rock. You do those things, the Knicks have a chance to flip this series on its head. If you guys enjoyed the show, please do me the biggest favor you can do and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.